All right, welcome back to computer science. Yesterday we did an optional little unit, but more importantly, what we're going to recall right now is that I started and I finished. I believe I started and finished the Jupyter Notebook, Intro to Jupyter Notebook unit, which was the final unit of this optional lecture in data science with Python. And this Jupyter Notebook is basically it's an interactive development environment, an IDE, specifically for kind of coding and testing programs for data science and scientific calculations. I think that's the terminology they used. And so this Jupyter. Jupyter has that's the IDE. Jupyter has a notebook, which is kind of the interface where you'll code, test, and get outputs. Code, run, output, all within this notebook. The Jupyter Notebook contains cells, and there's three types of cells. There's a text cell, there's a code cell, and there's an output cell. Is the text cell also known as like a markdown cell, and the output cell is also known as there's another term for it, but each is an individual cell. The text cell doesn't really do anything. It's pretty much for commenting. But if you run a code cell, it will produce an output cell below that cell, I believe, directly below that cell. And you can click run and run cells individually, or you can run all the cells sequentially. I think that's pretty much everything, right? Jupyter is an IDE for writing and testing code in data science and scientific computing. Jupyter Notebook is an interactive document. So it's a document where your code is written and it contains cells. And cells organize code, text, and output all in one place for testing, presenting, and sharing. Three types of cells: code cells, markdown cells, aka text cells, and raw cells, aka output cells, so raw. And then each cell can be run independently. So pretty good recall there. And on that note, we're now done with lectures, and I'm going to jump back in and continue doing more optional stuff, which is the last stuff I have to do in the textbook, or there is to do. I've done all the coding practice problems in the coding practice problems section. I've done all the graded participation and challenge activities. I've done all the programs, graded many small programs, MSPs, the optional Python for data science lecture. It's all done except for these optional little units. Most of them are more programming problems and projects that I skipped over when I went through the semester the first time because I was prioritizing the actually assigned and graded stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and work through some more optional stuff, and then I'll be back to recall what I did in a little bit. All right, I just did a session and a half. Finished one more of these optional programs. This one was basically, it intook an item, the item price, and the item quantity, and then output a receipt. Then it took in another item, another price, another quantity, output in a new receipt with the previous item cost and this item cost, and then a third, basically output, it said mandatory gratuity or gratuity of 15%, and then it printed the total final price for both items, as well as the gratuity. And then I just started another program. This one is on palindromes. So you basically have to take an input, a word or a phrase, and determine if it's a palindrome or not. And that's what I'm working on right now. So that's pretty much it for now. I'll be back for one more session to wrap up the end of week 16, I believe. So that's it for now. Talk to you in a bit. So I'm back with more computer science. Then we're going to end up, what are we going to do here? We're going to finish we're going to keep working on that palindrome problem. So I'll talk to you in a bit. Okay. I finished up the palindrome program. Then I did another program, salary calculator program, and then I was working on a third program, which is checking if an input string only contains basically numerical digits, and if it doesn't, then it says no, prints like not integers only or numerical digits only. If it is all numerical digits, then it prints like yes, it is all numerical digits. Varied amount of input data. I think okay, that's a program I did too. What was that program about? Given like a bunch of different floats, you print out the maximum value of the given floats and the average of the given floats. Pretty simple. Strange that that was actually the furthest one down. That's from lecture 24. So that's like supposed to be the quote unquote hardest or most advanced or most complex optional program left. So knocked that one out pretty simply in probably like 5 minutes. Okay. We've got 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 more. So anyway, that's gonna wrap up week 16. Can you believe that? That tomorrow is week 17, the final week. So we'll see if we get through the rest of this. If not, no big deal. We're gonna have the final exam soon. So I'll probably take that on Wednesday. So maybe actually I'll take that on Tuesday. So talk to you tomorrow. See ya.